Yes. Hi everyone. Today I'm discuss about threads in Java. So what about threads? Thread nothing but it's a sequential independent flow of execution. Okay, it is a sequential. Sequential means line by line. Independent. So it's a separate execution flow of is called thread. Okay. Sequential separate independent flow. This means simply we can say thread is a one process. It is executed one process. Okay, so a separately independent flow of execution, okay, is called thread. So already in Java predefined threads is there. So those predefined threads are created by JVM at the time of the class load into JVM. So see here in JVM architecture, Java stack area contain two threads. One is a main thread, second one is a garbage collection. So what is the use of the main thread? The main thread work is by default it is executed main method. Okay, means it is a the thread work is it is doing some process. Okay, it is calling one functionality. Process nothing but one functionality. It is executed. Okay, same as one more thread is garbage collection GC. So this work is it's clear object memory. It is also doing one process. So simply we can say thread doing one process. It is a separate flow of execution. Here also main thread is work is executed main method. Okay, it's a executed main method line by line. Same as garbage collection is clear object memory in JVM in heap area. Okay, JVM heap area. Okay, so okay, here is the predefined thread process also doing one process. Okay, these are the predefined threads are main thread one is, second one is garbage collection. So for suppose in the main method, this is a one main method. The main method contain whatever statements are there, those statements are executed one line after another line. So who one is call this method done by main thread. Okay, main thread is a work. See, for suppose as a diagrammatically, if you see here, see for suppose if you implement like this is a single thread process. Okay, so what is the work of here? See, class test. In test class contain method 1, m1, m2 and m3. Three methods is there. So those methods I call in main method. Okay, m1 and m2 and m3. So main thread work is this main thread is first it's executed m1 function. Okay, m1 method is completed, then only it will move to m2 method. So m2 method function is all completed, then only it will move to m3 function. So the main thread is executed one method after another method. Okay, one method function is completed, then only it will move to m2 method. M2 method functional is completed, then only it will move to M3 functionalities. So it is executed one function, one method after another function. So here this is a main thread, this is a single thread communication. So for suppose assume here main thread, for suppose main thread is not executed this m1 m2 m3 method, just the main thread. If you create any separate threads, for suppose thread 1 and thread 2 and thread 3. Okay, so thread 1 I want assign work to m1 function, thread 2 is created by main thread, and thread 2 is work is main 2 m2 function is executed, and thread 3 it is executed m3 method. So in this area these three function these three methods are executed sequentially. Okay, simultaneously. Okay, it's not one after another one, it's a simultaneously. M1 method is executed started, M2 method is also, M3 method is also is executed. Okay, so if you using only main thread, then the main thread is executed sequentially one after another one. But if you using the user different threads, okay, T1, T2, T3, these are the threads. So the threads are created by main thread, these threads are executed our functionalities. Okay, simultaneously. Okay, it's not a concurrently. Okay, concurrently it is executed automatically. Okay, so in this process it's a very fast, like you see here, this is a diagram for suppose. So actually threads start method is a create thread. Okay, start, what is the work of the start method? So start method is a one predefined method. Okay, start method is a one predefined method. The method contain the logic of the method start method is create user defined threads. Okay, so here I'm create one user defined thread, t1 thread, then t1 thread is calling m1 method. Okay, like the logic contain t1 thread logic contain in thread t1 thread contain logic, that is a m1 method is execution, and same as t2 thread is automatically created. These are the threads are created by JVM only. JVM means main thread. Okay, then t2 thread is executed m2 method, and t3 thread is created, then the t3 thread is executed m3 method. So it is a concurrently it's executed m1 m2 m3 methods. So it is a very fast. Okay, so very fast compared with a single thread. Single person, if you do these are the three methods execution process, it takes a lot of time compared with these three threads. Okay, so when you call start method, user different threads are created. So user different threads are created in two ways actually, either using the thread class, okay, or runnable interface. Runnable interface, thread class or runnable interface. So interface contain only run method is there. Run method is a by default executable method. See here is main method is a executable method. That method is executed by main thread. Same as here user defined threads are executed by default run method. Okay, when I call start method internally call run method. Okay, the run method contain logic. The logic is calling m1 method. Same as thread 2 is created, and the thread 2 is calling m2 method, same as thread 3 also. Okay, like that. So anyhow here is user defined threads are created in two ways. One is a thread class, second one is a runnable interface. How to create, how to run, how to execute those programs practically we'll see. Here is, for suppose class sample extends thread class. So in thread class here I am using one by default executable method is run method, public void run method. This is a predefined method. It is a override method in thread class. Thread class already contain run method, so the run method is executed by default user defined thread. Okay, so first of all here is contain void m1 method 1 system.out.println, or else here I do some logic. For suppose for I want to print for 1 to 10 numbers, logic I have to print it here. So int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Okay, print it. So when I call this m1 method, automatically these are the logic is executed 1 to 10 numbers. Here I want to print static, directly I can call. So here that's done. So here is what you do. Here is I create one thread class. So the thread class by default executable method is run method, but I am not defining any logic. Okay, so here is I want to call m1 method. So how to call? That is a static method. Using the class name I can call. This is done. Okay, now here is entire in this program. What is output? There is no output right now because of here is main method doesn't contain any logic. Okay, main thread is not create any thread. So how to start method is required. So how to call start method? The start method is available in thread class. That's the reason first you need to create object of sample class, sample s equal to new sample. So using this reference only we can call s dot start. Okay, so when I execute this program, the result is 1 to 10 numbers. So what happened here is first thing is I remove this one. I remove this one also. See, first thing is here is I create one thread class, that is a sample class. The sample class must be contain default executable method, that is a public void run method. In that I have one logic. The logic is I call m1 method. Okay, m1 method using the class name. So that is a static method. That's why I can call. So this is a static method. In that I wrote one logic, that is a 1 to 10 numbers is printed. So right now there is no output because of by default executable method is main method here is. So main thread is executed main method. So here I wrote one logic. The logic is thread creation. Okay, when I call start method, main thread is created one pre-user defined thread. So on this one, when I call start method, is created one thread. Okay, the thread is started in run method. Okay, automatically it is go to sample class and it will search for run method. Okay, it not execute any other methods. Okay, it's by default the thread class must be contain run method. In that run method, whatever your logic is required, those logic we have to define in run method only. So main thread is executed main method like that. Same as here also, user defined thread by default executable method is run method. In that I define one logic, that is a test.m1. Test class m1 method is executed. So like this, that's why it is execution is done this entire process. Similarly here we can create thread using the runnable interface also. So how to create implements runnable. So runnable interface same as here also same, but how to start thread here is, that is a very important, because of start method is not available in sample class, start method is not available in run method, is implementation methods are not available in any interface. Okay, so that's why you must be create object of thread class, thread th equal to new thread. So we need to pass the thread class, then we need to start th. So this is a way to start thread class, thread creation and thread class execution process is done. This type of logic is required. So when we are implements runnable interface, okay, this is a done. Okay, so this is a process. See, actually we can simplify this code also, no issue. Actually, see here, new sample. Okay, new sample, this is entire put into new thread also, new thread dot start, just start. So one is also is enough. So compare with this simple code. Okay, so same output we can get. Okay, see, but here difference is, what is the difference between extends thread class or runnable interface? If you take extends thread class, we cannot extend one more classes. Okay, but if you implement runnable interface, we can extend some other classes also. Okay, some other predefined class also we can implement, extend, and we can implement some other interface also. Okay, multiple inheritance concept is there. Okay, so that's the reason if you extend thread class, we cannot extend some other classes. Okay, so that is a drawback. That is by here is implements runnable is a best option compare with extends thread. Okay, only for the one of the feature is extends thread. If you take, then we can't extend some other predefined classes. That's the reason how to implement runnable is the best option compare with extends. Otherwise everything is okay, everything else is okay. Okay, thank you.